Okay. What I want to talk about, really, what I really want to talk about is there's these two plays that I really like, and one of them is about two people who are sitting on a rock beside a tree, waiting for a character called Godot. I like this play. It's also a movie because oftentimes people find themselves sitting, waiting, because they don't have help, they don't have this, they don't have that, and they're waiting and waiting, and they don't realize what it means when it's said that the power invested in me, the power invested in me. Oftentimes, people don't realize what it means when it is said, the power that is invested in me. What is this power? What is this power that is invested in each and every individual? I have that power, you have that power, everybody have that power, but is everybody aware of that power and how to use that power? That's the question. Is everybody aware? Oftentimes people are not aware of that power. And if they find themselves in a place where they're alone, they tend to give up or not make an effort because they're not aware of that power yet. It is said that wherever a person is, God is there with them. So, how do you find out who is this God that is with you everywhere? Everywhere you go, God is with you. And it is also said, where two or more are gathered together, there am I in their midst. Who is this that is in their midst? You know, when you find yourself in a place by yourself, what do? You turn to this power, but what is this power? Where do you find this power within yourself? I'm not going to say, but it's something to think about and to find out for yourself where to find this power. I know personally for myself, um, I find this power within myself, and wherever I am, I know that God is there with me. I find who this God is that is with me. That if I don't have a person to help me or whatever the case may be, then I turn to this higher power in prayer or however I have to turn to this inner power. I turn to this inner power. For example, I don't sit around and wait. I found myself. I remember um, even from high school. When I first started high school, I was put into a class that was considered a class for students who could not learn. And when I heard what was said about me concerning this class, I told myself there is no way that I was going to stay in that class. No way. I was going to work my way out of the class. I didn't know what to do, but I knew something in me did not want me to stay in that class. So I had to work my way out of that class. And I'm not an only child, but I was raised as an only child. And not having any siblings or anybody to turn to, I turn inward. I turn inward to the self that is in me. Because I remember hearing once a minister who said that a minister who was performing a wedding ceremony, and the minister said, "By the power invested in me, by the power invested in me." From the time I heard that statement, I asked myself, okay, if he has a power invested in him, I must have that power too. I have to find out who, if it's a person, who and what is this power. Let me tell you, I was determined to find out what this power was. And sure indeed, I don't think I find out what the power was, But I use I use the power without being aware what the power was. I use the power, and sure enough, I worked my way out of that class. I worked my way out of that class. I didn't stay in that class. Every year, I kept moving upward, upward, upward. Um, I didn't get a thank you certificate when I graduated from high school. And I kept on moving. I kept on moving. Excuse me. I kept on moving from class to class, pushing myself forward, going up, going up. And eventually I graduated from high school. And then I had the work didn't end there. I kept on working my way up. And the thing that I found out is that it is also written that everything is happening for my good. Life is a process. So I had to take it as it is said. It is working out for my good. Life is a process. So as I was going through the process of life, I never allowed the process to overcome me. What I did is I did my best to overcome. I did my best to overcome. So, whatever situation I found myself in, I didn't sit around blaming. That's another thing people often do. Is some people, let me correct myself, some people often make this mistake. They'll sit and blame other people for what's going on in their lives and not see the part that they're playing in the situation. um, if something is happening in my life, whether somebody else is involved, I also look at, okay, what part am I playing in this? Is it because I'm not aware of something that I'm allowing this to happen or allowing this person to do this? Because I remember going through a situation and somebody was playing a part in what was happening to me. I could see the person playing their part, but I could not see my part in it, but I knew I had a part in it. And the one thing I did not want to do is to sit and blame that person, even though I know that they were playing a part and it wasn't in my favor. And it wasn't in their favor either, but because I wasn't aware, they took advantage of my ignorance. And I could not see the part that I was playing in it, but I knew I was playing a part in it. But eventually, when I figured it out, I I excused myself from the environment. I excused myself from the environment, and I took responsibility for the part that I was playing and made some corrections to stop what was happening. And from there, I was able to move forward because the part that the person was doing and that I was allowing them to do because I wasn't aware was creating setbacks for me. It was preventing me from achieving the goals that I had planned for my life. I wanted to pursue my education, and this person did not have the same goal in mind for me. They did not have the same goal in mind for me. And I could see that something was wrong. It's not like I didn't see it, but I didn't know what to do. And I didn't really know that, I didn't really know the part I was playing in it, but I knew that I was playing a part in it. But eventually, like I said, I realized that I was playing a part in it. And once I realized the part that I was playing in it, I took responsibility, like I said, because I didn't want to sit and blame, playing the Adam and Eve game. Um, the woman made me do it. No, it wasn't the woman, it was the serpent. I didn't want to play that game. That's not me. I like whenever something is happening in my life, once I figure it out, once I figure out what's happening, if I'm playing a part in it, I take responsibility. If I'm not playing a part in it and somebody else is creating a blockage or preventing me from achieving my goal, I remove myself from that environment. I remove from myself from that environment, and I also would cut ties with that person. I don't need them in my life. But like I said, was saying before, sometimes you find yourself in a environment or in a place, and what do you do if you don't have anybody to help you? That's when you have to turn to that higher power, which is also in yourself, and do what you have to do. It takes two to tango. Sometimes it takes you and God. You may not have a person, but that doesn't mean you're alone. Sometimes it takes you and God, and it takes two to tango, and between the two, there is something. There is faith. There is faith. There is faith. If you believe in God, you have God to tango with, and then you have your faith to rely on. But faith, as it is said, faith without work is useless. You need to have the faith, and you need to put in the work. You need to put in the work. So if I find myself in a place by myself, I know I have God with me. I put in the faith, and if I don't have nobody to help me, I do it with God. I do it with God. Like this little instrument. It's to massage my back. Sometimes I need to massage my back, and this is what I use. This little instrument right here. I just roll it over my back. I can sit and complain and whine and blame and do this and do that, but instead of doing that, I get this instrument. Very helpful. I can roll it all over my back. And I'm telling you, it is really, really helpful. So I don't sit around whining, complaining, and wishing, and all these things. That's not me. I also have this. This is a really good little massage tool. Roll this. You can roll this all over my body to give myself self-massage. And I also have these. This is a vibrating massage tool. This feels so good. I like to use this on my legs. Really, really good. Like, if I could put my leg up, let me see, I could put my leg up. Put my leg up and just roll it on my leg. like this. Really, 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 really good. I don't sit around complaining, whining, waiting around for Godot. Nope, 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 nope. I don't sit around waiting for Godot. I don't sit around waiting for nobody because I know God is with me and He invested His power within me. So I find out what this power is and use this power with faith. Faith, 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 faith. Use this power with faith. And whatever is happening, like the Bible says also, give thanks. Give thanks for what is happening because it is promised to me to get an unexpected end. So if I sit whining, complaining, I will not get from point A to point Z. I will not move forward. I would remain like the two characters in Waiting for Godot. They sat day in, day out, waiting for Godot. Godot never came, and they never moved from that spot. That is not me.